The Icefields Parkway is iconic and home to many a famous roadside view. Whether it be cascading waterfalls, perfectly reflecting lakes, or towering mountaintops, it really is worth a drive in any season. A lot of these locations can be busy, they're well signposted and easy to find. However, there are a few spots that remain a little less visited, especially in winter.
And this is one of them. Now, this spot is only actually about 500 meters from the road, but the trail kind of puts people off, so you won't often find that many people down there. It's a little bit harder to get to than you might expect, but that's why today we have got poles, I've got some crampons, and I've brought along some gaiters. So as you can see, it's a pretty impressive sight. I'm not sure how I feel about that open water at the top here that's still flowing. It's been a bit of a weird winter here in the Canadian Rockies this year. Like, we did have a really cold snap, but it's been a bit warmer today. And normally this waterfall would be completely frozen. But you can kind of see here, it almost makes a bit of an ice cave. Often these icicles will run lower down and you can kind of get right behind them. But we'll probably pop our crampons on and have a bit of a look up inside there. Got to be really careful today though, because it is warmer. We're not going to be spending much time underneath these seracs, these icicles, because if they fall, it's obviously not going to be good. So we'll minimize our time spent under those. And we're going to be prodding the snow as we go, just to make sure there is no kind of weak spots, so it's not covering up any water underneath. But there's some good photographic opportunities. So let's go and explore. Yeah, look, you see this? Big piece has fallen down off of there.
It's so weird though that they like fully came off. Straight like that.
It's like, as you can see there, like that big piece of ice from up here has fallen off at some point and landed kind of right in the middle of the path here. But we are a bit safer just here because we're a bit further back, and just above us we really just got rock. And any other kind of icicles above us here are really small, so probably should have brought the helmets today, but I just kind of neglected to think about that, unfortunately. But a recommendation if you're visiting yourself. But I think you can see where Brooke's standing kind of behind here. I think if I get really, really deep inside with the camera, I can make that look like we're kind of in a bit of an ice cave, which would be cool. Like in some years, like I mentioned before, you get this curtain of icicles that kind of sit all the way along here, and maybe later in the year that will happen, and then it looks super cool and properly like a little bit of kind of winter magic. So you can see I've crawled right back into this little corner in the ice cave, and from here at 16 mil I'm going to end up getting a lot of these icicles in my foreground, and as well as all this really nice texture along the right hand side here, and it really does make it look like we're actually deep inside an ice cave. So I think I'm going to set up the camera here, maybe on the tripod, and maybe even stand in the front there with my red jacket, and that should look pretty awesome. One good thing as well about these icicles I talked about before, they are always made completely out of hoarfrost, so they're really light. So if you knock any down or they fall down, it's just like a little sprinkle of snow. So I feel like we're pretty safe in this little cave.
So turning the camera to portrait orientation revealed more details in the foreground below. It also resulted in a perfect spiral leading line from the bottom left corner of the frame up and back around to the splash of colour produced by my red jacket. Now, I'm not sure which one I like best. So let me know which one you prefer in the comments below. Landscape or portrait?
So we've just walked up around the back of the main waterfall now. And just due to the way it's frozen this year and the fact that some of it hasn't actually frozen yet at all, it does look pretty different compared to previous years. So quite often there'd be a big column of ice just here, like a second one just behind me. The whole floor here would be frozen as well, and even over to the right, that column of ice would be much larger. However, I think there are still some good photo opportunities available, and a lot of these textures are amazing. So I'm going to grab a couple of more photos just before we go here. The great thing about a location like this, I suppose, is the fact that because it freezes differently every single year, there are different opportunities that kind of reveal themselves. And even though this column of ice here isn't as big as it usually is, there are some really nice gaps in it that I can use for some framing. And I've just had Brooke to go just down here wearing my red jacket because it really pops in that snow. And then we're going to kind of use this as a bit of a frame and then see if we can get some of that waterfall in the background as well. I think that's about it for the video today. I'm pretty happy. I think I've got about 3 or 4 really nice images from today. And even if you're not a photographer, just coming and having a look at frozen waterfalls is pretty awesome. As always, thank you so much for watching the videos. And if you want to find out about more hidden spots on the Icefields Parkway, be sure to like and subscribe. And hopefully I will see you on the next one.